Hey, good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios. It is Monday. It is April the 28th, and it's going to be an awesome day today as we kick off Derby week, dressing up in the spirit of Derby on this Ben at 10. Of course, we're just coming off of Extol Unfiltered with Angie Fenton at 9 o'clock talking about a bunch of things Derby. So we've got some interesting weather that we're going to have to talk about for this week. Again, today, nice and warm and dry, and then we're going to introduce storm chances tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Some of the storms tomorrow could be strong to severe. We'll look at some of the ingredients. There is a combination of unstable air and wind shear. So you get the wind that you need. You got some of the really unstable, warm and moist air. A combination for some storms that could become strong to severe tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And then it's going to lay a stationary front over the region for more periods of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, possibly a little leftover rain into Oaks on Friday. With repeated storm chances, we may have to watch out for some localized flash flooding. I don't think it's going to be a river flooding problem, because it's just not going to be enough. We're talking about maybe 1 to 3 inches across the area, so we should be able to handle that just fine. But plenty to talk about and to time out with the weather models, no doubt about that. Beverly Haggis, thanks for watching here on this Monday morning, one of the first to pop on. So thanks for tuning in here. So we're going to be taking a look at all things Derby as far as that forecast. So plenty of weather content here for you. Let's go ahead and bring up that forecast for all of you joining early. We'll have a look at that preview forecast as we kick this off our Ben at 10. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's on my Facebook page or you're watching from Extol Weather. If you're watching the replay, thanks for joining in, maybe during the afternoon or the evening time. So appreciate you guys all being a part of this. And also, before we dig in, just a shout out to our partners, NWSB, Libs Paving Company, and we have Lions Roofing. You'll be hearing a lot more about them in the coming days and weeks and months, and Weddington Custom Homes. Brad the Builder, he will be our expert as far as that goes. You'll be hearing some segments from him as well. So thanks to all our partners out there. And we are partnered up with some good weather today. 82 degrees, that high temperature. So very warm out there, about 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year, and partly to mostly sunny. South wind starting to bring in that warm air, but also some of the humidity levels, which will be going up over the next 24 hours. So that wind at around 5 to 15 miles per hour, and our sunsets now are after 8:30. Looking ahead here, we've got the allergy report, which is high. As I mentioned over the last couple of weeks, eventually we're going to introduce the grass pollen. So now we have the double trouble of trees and grass pollen out there to impact those of you who are allergy sufferers. Play ball forecast, it looks like we're in good shape. My daughter's got tennis. So we'll be up in Paoli later on this evening. But if you've got a ball game, today's the day to have a ball game, because I think there's probably going to be some rainouts this week. We've got a tennis match or baseball game every day this week, but it looks like weather might have a say in some of that later this week as well. So we're looking at 82 degrees around 4 p.m. and then some mid to upper 70s as we get closer to sunsets, and a 0% chance of rain today. As I mentioned, the sunset around 8:31. By the end of May, we're up to 9 p.m. sunsets, and our latest sunsets of the year right around the beginning of summertime, June 22nd. And we're back to 9 p.m. sunsets by around July 23rd. 67 degrees, our low for tonight. That was like a summer-like night. Our temperatures are not going to drop off much thanks to that south wind at around 10 to 15. So pretty warm night with a mostly clear sky, sun up at 6:48. 7-day forecast. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow we're looking at showers and thunderstorms building in the afternoon and evening time after a high of 83 degrees. So plenty warm to fuel some of those strong thunderstorms. And if we do get some severe storms, it looks like a low tornado threat. This is more isolated damaging winds that we'll watch for, frequent lightning, heavy rainfall, maybe some localized ponding of water in some areas to watch for. And then there could be some hail involved in some of these thunderstorms too. And as we look at the full screen here again, Wednesday, that is a 5:02 day out at Churchill Downs Steamboat Race. I would say I'm leaning towards Wednesday, much more dry time than Thursday. Thursday is when we actually have a storm system, a low pressure system that will be moving over our area. So we're looking at 82 Wednesday with a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, but I think we'll get a lot of breaks Wednesday. So not a washout there. Now, I think we're going to have more widespread showers and thunderstorms Thursday for Thurby, giving it a good, healthy 80% chance of that rain with a high of 78. And into Thursday night, still could see some heavy rain and some thunderstorms across the area. And then Friday, looking at a high of 72 for Oaks. Hopefully drier by the afternoon, but there is a chance for some lingering spotty light rain showers for Oaks on Friday. And then it finally turns perfect by Saturday for Derby Day for the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. 70 degrees and sunshine. And it looks like we'll have some nice weather for the rest of this weekend. And into next week, it looks like the weather pattern could be settling down for us a bit. So the hottest and the coldest Oaks, 94 and 38. So the wettest, about an inch and a half. And we talked about this over the last week, that about half of Oaks and Derbies have had rain at some point in the day. And it looks like Oaks will be the one that gets a rain chance while Derby is dry this time around. Hottest Derby, 94, coldest 36. Some sleet in 1989. The wettest 7 years ago with over 3 inches of rainfall. So again, that Thurby Oaks Derby forecast for Thurby, a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then Oaks, some lingering light rain showers, kind of spotty, it looks like 72, and then sunshine for Derby. So we're looking very good there. I'm just looking over some of the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting as well. We've got Angela. We put that one up there. Good morning. Happy Derby week. Happy Derby week to you as well. Might need some ponchos off and on if you're going to be spending time out at Churchill Downs. Thanks for your comments, suggestions, participation in our long-form weather conversation. You never know, your suggestion, we might see some new maps on here, some different things to look at just because of what you're interested in. So don't be shy. Feel free to go ahead and leave a comment or suggestion. We'll take a look at some current conditions here. We'll pull up extolmag.com/weather, and it's got your interactive radar. It's got our live stream up here as well. So a lot of different tools here that you can check out at extolmag.com/weather, extolmag.com/weather, and then go ahead and put that in a bookmark it, and then you'll have basically all you need to forecast for yourself as well. We've got, again, your current conditions across the area, the forecast there over the next several days. My 7-day forecast, I've written up the weather story, which says Derby week storm chances for Indiana and Kentucky. Storm prediction maps, so where severe weather might occur, severe weather watches, warnings, storm reports. You've got your NDOT cameras and traffic. If there's any traffic trouble across the area, you can easily pop that up as well. And there's a live look at Lee Hamilton Expressway by Green Valley Road. Got some high clouds out there, filtering out a little bit of that sunshine across the area. Popping up there at I-65 by Lewis and Clark, which I got off on that exit a little bit earlier this morning. A lot earlier this morning, around 6 a.m. So looking good with some sunshine across the area right now. That is the NDOT cams. Obviously no drought across our area. This is a look at the drought monitor across the United States. And absolutely no drought here because of all of our rain. Severe drought is down over the southwestern United States, and actually Florida, surprisingly, hasn't had a whole lot of rain earlier this year. But the severe drought out over the west, southwest, and parts of the Great Plains, we, of course, have had just a ton of rainfall. And a look at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation live webcam there. Let me go ahead and refresh this. Go ahead and escape. It shows some beautiful views there if you just want to chill and pop up the cameras. There we go. Remember a couple weeks ago, those trees were covered by the mighty Ohio River with the flooding there. Just had a little bit of a lag with the camera. Let me hit play there. There we go. Looking good there at the Falls of the Ohio. Looks like somebody's out there fishing this morning. All right, heading back to extolmag.com/weather, and I'll pull up the interactive radar here for you. And again, if you want to play along, very easy to do that. Temperatures in the 60s now and heading up into the 80s. So we're going to rebound very nicely. I've got all the watches and warnings popped up here on our Extol weather radar and satellites. You can take those off. You can put the lightning strikes on there. There you can see all the lightning strikes with the storm system up into the Great Lakes, Minnesota, Milwaukee, some busy weather up there. You can also see the temperature contrast, still cooler up to the northwest. There are 30s over parts of Montana and into Nevada. And you see lightning data really throughout North America. So big area of data that you can get here with the interactive radar. And again, I've got temperatures plotted, I've got lightning plotted. You can take on and off whatever you want, take off the winds, take off the temperatures just so you have the radar. You can play around with it. Obviously easy and free to do that at extolmag.com/weather. We'll get to the weather models here in just 1 second. Or of course, we'll recap the forecast towards the end of the digging into the weather models. Judy, thanks for tuning in this morning. Good morning to you. I like your emojis, the horse and the rose there. Brenda Sanders, great weather for Derby. We got one good one today. We're kind of bookending the week, our Derby week, with great weather today and also Saturday. In between, not going to be all bad, but we're going to have some showers and thunderstorms. And good morning to Lillian Lasley. Thanks for tuning in. Great weather for Derby. And we've got Sheila Milburn. Thanks for watching here. Good morning to you. Thanks to everybody joining in on Ben at 10 on this new Derby week here that we have for us. All right, let me go ahead and bring up the weather models. And we'll start off with the radar and satellite, which is really quiet around our area. That's why we see sunshine out the windows here behind me. And we'll have that sunshine, that south breeze, warming things up today. I'll go ahead and bring this up full screen for us. Taking a look at the active weather up to our northwest. Eventually that active weather is going to be heading our direction. It's going to be laying out a stationary front. That stationary is not good. That means it's stalled out. It's not going to be moving much, and it's going to give us the lift for rounds of showers and thunderstorms. So you can see it pretty clear overhead right now. Just some high clouds drifting in from the north. So good looking weather for today, no doubt about that. Especially if you like it warm. Remember the sunscreen. My son went out golfing yesterday and ended up with a decent sunburn. Okay, future radar. Here we go. So tomorrow afternoon looks like the first round of some showers and thunderstorms across the area. Let me go ahead and go to the models here. And I'm going to bring up first the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. I'm going to jump ahead to tomorrow. So we'll start this off tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And there you can see those showers and thunderstorms now getting closer to our area. Now, it does look like tomorrow morning will be the driest part of the day, as we'll have the increasing chance of some showers and thunderstorms blossoming in the afternoon and evening time. So we're looking ahead here. This is 10 a.m. And so we're starting to see the approaching showers and thunderstorms. Some of the data, it comes in a little bit later. This is kind of one of the quicker models that we've seen here with the latest data coming in this morning. That's at around 11 a.m. tomorrow. So southern Indiana, best chance as we head into the afternoon. There's noon tomorrow, 1 p.m. And tomorrow, the risk of severe weather is a little bit higher, actually, for areas off to the northeast. And I'll show you that risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center here in just a moment. So that's 1 p.m. going into 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So again, not a washout tomorrow, but a couple of rounds of some showers and thunderstorms will be possible. That is at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And into the evening time, Those look like some hailers. They could have some hail in those storms right there. This is 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, and then that's at 10 p.m. tomorrow. So let me go ahead and bring up the NAM. Tomorrow is the 29th of April. We'll go to tomorrow morning. And so I'm bringing up, we've talked about this, the CAPE, the convective available potential energy for our area. Notice that's very high out to the west. That's the fuel to get these storms to possibly become severe. And as we look at that tomorrow afternoon, it starts to ramp up over our area. So that is one big ingredient for strong to severe storms. So this is pretty high levels of that CAPE, that fuel, 3,000 joules per kilogram. Plenty of unstable air over us. And then as we look at the shear and the wind speeds, I'm going to bring up the 500 millibar winds. I'm going to back this up to tomorrow morning. So we start off tomorrow with light winds throughout the column of the atmosphere. Notice that jet stream higher up to the west. That's where you see 90-mile-per-hour winds up around northern Michigan. But we don't need that much wind. But as we head into the afternoon tomorrow, we're starting to see some of that. This is around 18,000 feet. And notice those winds over us around 50 miles per hour. So what you need is a balance for severe storms. If you have a lot of that CAPE, that energy, that fuel for the thunderstorms, and just think warm, moist air, but you don't have the wind, then you get those popcorn thunderstorms, kind of garden variety, maybe heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, and then they don't move much, and then they kind of wash themselves out. A lot of times they pop up for maybe like a half hour, and then they collapse. So they pop up and splash down. But if you get a wind in the atmosphere to tilt these thunderstorms, then it's a perfect system. You're always getting the feed of warm, moist air. The rain falls out ahead of it, and then you just got this cycle. Instead of it washing itself out, it's just you've got that tilt in the atmosphere with those stronger winds aloft. So with that wind shear, that added wind element to the ingredients increases that threat of some strong thunderstorms. So back to the graphics here, we have the CAPE, the fuel, and some of the stronger winds moving in tomorrow afternoon. So with that said, the Storm Prediction Center has all of our area under a slight risk of severe storms. Now, the risk today is off to the northwest, and in fact, that is a moderate risk of severe weather. So they've got a pretty good threat of severe weather up in the northern Midwest, or parts of Minnesota, into Iowa, and into Wisconsin. So no threat for us. Obviously today, just warm and dry. Now, as we move into day 2 from the Storm Prediction Center, then that shift is off to the east over the Ohio Valley. Now, there's an enhanced risk of severe storms to our northeast. That's where you see that orange up in Ohio and into parts of western Pennsylvania and New York. That's a little higher threat of severe storms that way. So for us, this is level 2 out of 5, the severe weather risk categories. Not expecting a big outbreak of severe weather, but a couple rounds of some strong to severe storms will be possible tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Obviously, if there's any alerts, just heed the warnings and head inside. Let that storm pass on through and be safe. And this could cause, you may want to have some alternate plans if you had some plans outdoors tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Just looking at some of the comments popping in here as we're moving through some of the weather model data. We've got Marilyn Stewart. Good morning. Beautiful day. Yes, it is indeed. Already starting to warm up pretty nicely out there. It was a little touch cool this morning in the 50s, but we're going to have like a 30-degree warm up today, all the way up into the 60s. We've got Dorothy McDaniel from Marengo. Thanks for tuning in there. Thanks for your comment as well. So back to the weather graphics. So we've tracked the storms for tomorrow afternoon, for tomorrow night. The stationary front kind of along where that yellow is on the Storm Prediction Center outlook. And so that is going to bring us some rounds of showers and thunderstorms. So let's look at the latest GFS weather model as we look at that future radar. And we're going to jump ahead to Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with these chances of rain. I'm going to put the reflectivity back on here, which is what typically just looks like your regular rain. And we will jump ahead to the 29th at 8 p.m. So it also has the scattered showers and thunderstorms that the high resolution weather models had as well. Going into, let's go to 11 a.m. on the last day of April here. This is Wednesday. So again, I'm leaning towards Wednesday having more dry time than Thursday. Thursday will actually have a storm system move right over the top of us. So yeah, it does show some spotty showers over us. But I think we are going to have enough dry time that for Wednesday afternoon, we make it up to around 80 degrees. So warm with some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. So there you can see a little bit of activity over our area. That is at 5 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, April the 30th. Now heading into Wednesday night into Thursday, so now we're talking into Thurby. This is 8 a.m. Thurby morning. Chance for some rain, as you can see across the area. Storm system is going to be moving over the region, dragging a cold front. In this weather, the weather model, the GFS, not picking up really on the convection, which is the thunderstorms that could be there too. Again, I think Thurby could be on the warm side, humid, upper 70s, near 80 degrees. You've got some fuel for some strong thunderstorms as well for Thursday. We'll have to watch out for that. But there you see widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms. This is at 8 p.m. Thursday. So Marilyn popping in with the question. Thanks for any questions. So senior day for baseball tomorrow at 5 at Brownstown may have an interruption. Boo. We've had a lot of those interruptions this spring season, unfortunately, Marilyn. Yeah, you got it. Unfortunately, yeah, there is a chance. All right, so heading into Thursday night, starting to see the heaviest rain moving off to the east. We've got the storms gone, but as we go into Oaks Friday morning, there's a chance for maybe some sprinkles, and into the afternoon for Oaks, there could be a lingering leftover light rain shower. So this should be light stuff for Friday. Kind of a nuisance perhaps, but hopefully drier by the afternoon. This is a look at 5 p.m. Friday afternoon on Oaks. All right, looking down the road to our May 3rd Derby Day. So this is at 11 a.m. Derby Day. Rain and active weather is off to the east. All of the weather models have Saturday dry and sunny and cooler as well. Looking at temperatures, most likely in the 60s much of the day, topping out maybe like near 70 degrees, a little bit below normal for this time of the year. And this is a look at some of those cooler conditions moving into our area. A lot of times this raw day is a little bit cooler than it will actually be, but a little bit of a cool down for this weekend. And again, that's a look at the weather model data to take us through the rest of this week. Rainfall totals now. So this is going to be the total amount of precipitation when you add it all up from tomorrow afternoon all the way through Friday. And look at this. I mean, a lot of folks are getting some rain across the United States. Heaviest rain amounts out here in Oklahoma and into Missouri, showing some 4 to 6 inch amounts of rainfall. As we zoom into our area, and when we look at these numbers, this is why I don't think, river flooding is going to be a significant issue for our region, but there could be some storms that repeatedly go over some of the same spots, so some localized flash flooding might be possible. So there's like 1.5 inch amount. You got 1 inch here and there. So as we plot these out, you're basically looking at generally 1 to 2 inches, which we should be able to soak that up over several days. There could be some spots that maybe get up to 3 inches as well, but not enough to really cause any big problems for the Ohio River or anything like that. Just watching out for some localized flooding. All right, so we're going to bring back up the forecast here. And a quick shout out to, add a stage, there we go. So we had some beautiful weather over the weekend. There's my daughter Hannah. She had her last prom We were up a little over 1,000 feet looking over the Borden Valley, had some great weather for their pictures out there. So prom is over with until I guess my son next year if he ends up going. I had great weather over the weekend for it. It was fantastic. And today we are still looking at some really nice weather across the area. As we look at your forecast here, we're looking at 82 degrees this afternoon. So very warm, partly sunny. South winds at around 5 to 15, sunset at 8:31. And then the allergy report, high levels of not only tree pollen now, but also grass pollen is starting to ramp up. So you've got double trouble there with the pollen levels. Their play ball forecast here, we got 82 today, feeling like the month of May out there with temperatures running about 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Then upper 70s at 6 p.m., 76 at 8 p.m. And again, south winds will be fairly light. Sunsets at 8:31 here this evening, and our low temperature tonight down to 67. Mostly clear sky and nice and warm south winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And back to the 7-day forecast, which will spend a little bit of time here for you to get you through Derby week. So today, really nice low 80s, upper 70s, low 80s for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. 83 degrees, that forecast high tomorrow before that chance of some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Some of those storms could pack damaging winds and also frequent lightning and some hail to watch out for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and about a 70% chance of those scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. 65 the low Tuesday night, still warm, 82, humid. I'm dropping the rain chance a little bit Wednesday. I think we'll get more breaks in the rain, more dry time there. Maybe you can sneak in an hour or two to get the lawn mowed or do some weed eating or get out and about. And then at 80% chance, more widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms for Thursday with a high of 78. And then for Oaks on Friday, I think we'll see some spotty, lingering light rain showers, but the storms are gone. I'm not expecting stormy weather for Friday, and hopefully drier by the afternoon for Oaks with a high of 72. And then sunshine for Derby Saturday. High temperature up to 70 degrees. It looks like a little bit cooler nights this weekend in the 40s. Still not cold enough to worry about any frost or anything like that. And then Sunday 74 and back up to 78 degrees by Monday. I was looking at some of the data into next week as well, and it looked like a lot of next week shaping up very, very nice and pleasant and spring-like too. So some nice weather in store, a break in the rainfall next week after all of the rain this week. And just a reminder too, check out Indiana Skies group on Facebook, and please share your pictures and photos there. And I can share those photos right here on Ben at 10. Would love to share your photos. Just any cool clouds or sunsets, sunrise, whatever you want to share there. Easy to find. New group there on Facebook. Just search Indiana Skies. Also, head over to extolmag.com/weather and just head over to the main page too, where you can find a lot of content about southern Indiana and beyond. Interactive radar. We've got our live stream up there every morning, so easy way to find that. And your 7-day forecast, of course. You can take a longer look at that. And the weather story that I put together every morning just dives a little bit deeper into the weather story. So I put up a little analysis with some of the high resolution weather model data here, where you can see the timing of the showers and thunderstorms moving through tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, with that Storm Prediction Center's level 2 out of 5 risk category for our area, and then the rainfall totals, along with some more of the weather maps that you've seen right here. So that is the weather story there at extolmag.com. Thank you so much for tuning in here, whether it is on my Facebook page or Extol Weather. Thanks to you who are also rewatching. I know a lot of you aren't live here necessarily, but if you're rewatching, thanks for tuning in here in the afternoon or the evening time or before bedtime. A lot of times I'll come back and check out the comments. So if you are rewatching, please, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, again, making this your show, your weather show here in southern Indiana. So thanks for tuning in here. Don't see any other comments. I think Marilyn Stewart was the last one there. So thank you for watching. Beverly Hagist going to Tennessee next week. How's the weather going to be? Again, I think next week is looking quiet overall. I think you're going to have a lot of dry time there down in good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. I think you're in pretty good shape there. Beverly to head that direction. And probably nice and comfortable as well. It looks like a lot of maybe like 60s, 70s. So pretty close to normal temperatures. So looks like you're in good shape there. Again, thanks for tuning in. Again, Extol Weather on Facebook. Check it out. Indiana Skies right here on my Facebook page. Meteorologist Ben Peine, still spelled P-I-N-E. And then we've got Extol Media. Search that on YouTube. Like, subscribe. Please help get the word out to more folks so we can keep the show going. We got NWSB, our partners. Another shout out, Libs Paving Company, Lions Roofing, and Weddington Custom Homes. Thanks for participating here this morning. It is April 28th. Get out there and enjoy that warm weather. Might need even a touch of that AC out there for today. We'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday's Ben at 10. And I think by Wednesday, we might be out live out closer to Churchill Downs. So stay tuned this week for some more weather fun. We've got plenty of rain that we're going to be tracking live at different times as an unsettled Derby week is upon us here for tomorrow afternoon all the way through Friday. So stay tuned and thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.